First, introduce the wiring of AW-EV601 remote paging station. One end of the network cable is connected to AW-EV601 remote paging station, and the other end is connected to AW-EVC500 emergency voice evacuation controller. Next, introduce the wiring port of remote paging station. This is the power button. This is the power line interface. This is the USB interface. And this is the CAN linkage interface, which is the network cable interface. This is the 120 ohm adjustment switch. A voice evacuation controller, no matter how many remote paging stations are connected, you can only turn on one 120 ohm switch. For example, the switch is off now. No matter how many remote paging stations are connected to the voice evacuation controller, you only need to turn on one 120 ohm switch. This is the CAN interface of the voice evacuation controller. Next, introduce the linkage use of the remote paging station and the voice evacuation controller. First, set the baud rate of the controller and paging station to be the same, and then turn on the paging station. Choose the 7th item in the controller menu, System Setting. Choose the second one to set the baud rate. Then choose the 5th item of the menu, Paging Setting. Choose to check whether to link the paging station or not. On the paging station page, choose the 4th item, System Setting. You can see the paging address and set the baud rate to be the same as the controller. Next, we will introduce how to activate the controller zone when using the paging station. Choose the first item, Zone Select. Now we turn on the 10th zone and save it. When using MP3 audio, only the 10th zone indicator of the controller will light up. Which means only the 10th zone is activated. If there is no sound after the zone is activated, check the volume adjustment knobs of the controller and each zone. Make sure that the sound is not turned off. Besides, you can't set zone isolation in the controller. If you do, the sound of the zone will be blocked. You can also check if the speaker wiring is correct and proper. When using the paging station, turn it on. And the mic green indicator will be on, which means it is activated. You can speak to the microphone, and people will hear the sound from the enabled zone. When paging 1 is activated, paging 2 will be interrupted.